As engineers and co-producers, Bob and Malcolm had been replaced by another outstanding team, John Fishback and Gary Olazabal, otherwise known as Gary O.
How many tracks did Steve put down in those 2 years?
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
And some of them finished.
A lot of them finished.
Mix, everything.
Were there many of them that didn't wind up on the album that you felt should?
Oh, of course.
We had our favorites.
And we had ones that we hated, too. Not to say that they were bad, because in 2 years I never heard a bad tune. You can learn to hate them after you work on them enough, and maybe they're not to your taste. But there's really literally not a bad tune. Someone could take any of those tunes and have a potential hit song, commercial hit song with them.
There were a couple of songs, one in particular that I would walk out of the room every time he wanted to work on it, and there was one when John would walk out of the room.
But that's not too bad, really.
No.
One each that we couldn't stand.
For 2 years or longer.
And boy, did we work on those tunes.
There were 21 items on Songs in the Key of Life, including the bonus EP, and every one has some claim on inclusion in the programme.
What about Sir Duke? Now, that was one of the songs that really made people sit up and leap about when I first heard the album. It's a sort of strutting feel that it has to it.
Well, Sir Duke is about Duke Ellington, but it's relating to the many musicians that have contributed so much art of music to the world of music, to the art of big bands and singers such as Ella Fitzgerald, and we could name many, many people, as we only named a few, but there cannot be a particular time that we just let go by without thanking the many people that have contributed so much to our success today.
At no stage in the interviews did I ever mention the word genius, but it came up again and again. John Fishback raised it, as did Bob Margouleff and others. John Fishback described it as like a cloud descending on him in the studio. Incredible. Incredible, too, are the unlikely situations in which some of these songs were conceived. Take Ordinary Pain, for example.
I remember I came up with the melody for that. I was home in New York and I had to come out to L.A. And there was a problem with the plane that we were on, so we had to land in Phoenix. And that night I came up with a just an ordinary pain. And then from that came the rest of it. I finished the first part of the words that night, and I said, when I get back to L.A., I'm going to cut this tune.
life ordinary pain. There were times during those 2 years when the pain and strain on Gary, John, and all of them must have been pretty severe.
At a certain point, he had an idea in his mind what the story was going to convey. I think the album to him represents a story or a concept from start to finish. And I think maybe it's only in his mind. Maybe some people will pick it out as being a certain concept, others will pick it out as being something else. But once he had that set in his mind, then there had to be a certain kind of tune to fill each slot. It was a matter of finding the tunes. I mean, one of the last things that was done was I Wish. And it was like, you know, that one tune that he was searching for and searching for and searching for that we didn't get. And right near the end, there it was, right in front of us.
With the song like I Wish, I wanted to write a song about the experiences that I had when I was little. And I wanted to use Nappy-Headed Boy because even then, being little nappy-headed boy, still being nappy-headed, I felt good. I never heard anybody talking about, you know, that before, and just the things that I did when I was little. You know, sneaking out the back door to hang out with those hoodlum friends of mine. Mind you, I was a hoodlum too, you know, but in being greeted at the back door with, you know, mother or father saying, you know, thought I told you not to go outside. I mean, I wondered how do kids in England like relate to that?